is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on a new Acura Integra. $229 a month. It's the season of performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orviet's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orviet's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
It's game day at Toyota of Hollywood. Our all-stars are here to give you our MVP experience. Join the fun and feast on discounts up to $4,500. Huddle up and score big on a 25 Corolla. Not $26,000, $17,988. It's a tailgate party you don't want to miss. So gobble up the savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Murias Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Murias Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at murias.dental. Murias Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to muriasdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Oh, Samu, not again.
Initiating Daddy's back.
Go!
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Slomin Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Slomin Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
Welcome to Kaneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Kaneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at Kaneswear.com. Kaneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store. Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days. From Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then R&M Contractors can assist you. R&M specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. R&M Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rheaume. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rheaume can help.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on a new Acura ADX. $239 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
The Viewpoint point statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Good morning. Welcome aboard. Maybe it's afternoon. Maybe it's evening for you. All depends on where the hell you're watching. Anyway, welcome aboard on a beautiful Thursday, February 5th, 2026. It is day number 19,012 since the Miami Dolphins were world champions. It is day number 8,795 since the Canes were national champions. And we've got Seattle, by the way, favored by 4.5 leading into the weekend and the big game. New England is, the team, the over and under for the game is 45.5. Seattle is minus 230 to win that Super Bowl. New England is plus 190 to win that Super Bowl. So it's up to you what you think at this point in time. I still have Seattle winning by a touchdown. So I'm laying the points. And I'm going to find out what happens in the live. Because, like we say, live is the best value that there is. So it's a beautiful thing. Anyway, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. We got a few things to talk about. Dolphins assistant coaches spoke yesterday. Blah, 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 most of it. But there is one thing that was said, and I think there's tangible stuff that is actually tied to it. So we'll talk a little bit more about it. I just continue to kind of look at the market and see what's going on because I'm effing loving this dip. By the way, those of you that are new and you weren't here, I don't know, what was it, 5 years ago, right? 6 years ago in the dip when we were down to 15, 16,000, there was no flinching for me. So, anybody there that thinks that I'm worried about it because it hit 69 and 70 now, I'm not worried about it at all, and let me get at least that out of the way since, we love our friends at R&M Contractors, Ray and Mike, and they are always supportive of all of our Bitcoin and crypto segments. And, one of the things that you kind of get, this is why I don't want to do a show every day, because I don't feel like walking people off the ledge. Overall, it's something that you must educate yourself on your own and motivate yourself on your own so you can understand what's really going on in the end. And so there's a brutal thing going on right now. There's a transition of wealth that's going on. And the transition of wealth that's going on, it's coming from the middle and the poor, and it's going to the rich. And so the divide is becoming even bigger. And so, the rich people are not having any problems in this economy at all. All the middle class and the poor are the ones that are struggling right now. They're the ones that are freaking out on everything that has gone up and how nothing's really going down or anything like that. It's all bullshit, right? So you've got a lot of panic and there's a lot of scaring, a lot of people scared. And that's kind of what's been this whole thing about, has been kind of about intimidation and scared. And so in many different ways, now it's also happening fiscally. And the ones that are going to survive are the rich, and they know it. And so now there's a lot of shaking the trees in the market, and they're shaking loose the middle class and anybody else that's hanging on. And then the rich are going to be picking all of this stuff up because I'll explain to you what's going on now when they have Warsh coming in as the new Fed chair. A lot of people, oh, whoa, wait a minute. Oh, this guy is more hawkish. This guy's, he's not really going to, print. He's not into that and all that. Well, there's something going on. There's an okey doke going on right now. It's not about the Feds. Okay. The Treasury is being run by Scott Bessent, who is Trump's puppet. Today, he just printed $4 billion out of thin air because they're buying back their debt at record rates now. That's how they're adding to our deficit. That's how they're adding money into the economy. That's how they're able to pay for things, because what they're doing is they're buying our debt. People are dumping our debt. There's more people dumping our debt than actually buying our debt right now. And so there's a lot of people dumping our debt, and we're buying that debt, and we buy it by printing. So eventually Italy will print the hell out of their money, and Russia and China and everyone else. Okay. Everybody's money, everybody's in a deficit. You can go look at all the deficit clocks all over the world for all the different countries. They're all deep into the red. Japan is probably the worst, actually, for, based on their economy and their population and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of bad shit going on. So all their currencies are all going to die. But right now, it's a tough time. So people are having to make decisions. Do I hang on to my investment, or do I sell it so I can pay the rent and pay the mortgage and feed the kids and all that kind of stuff? The person that's rich is sitting back going, oh shit, it dropped to 80, it dropped to 70, dropped to 69. Let me scoop up some more. And that's what's going on. Plantier has dropped like 30%. That's what's going on. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, this is kind of the whole deal about a kind of it's a brutal kind of you know what it is? It's kind of like a tsunami, and when it's a vicious tsunami, that all of a sudden the shoreline dries up for a couple 100 yards, and there are fish flopping around, and people are freaking out, going, "What the hell happened?" And then the next thing they know, they see a wall that's coming that's 70, 80, 100 feet tall, and they freak. And that's kind of what's going on right now. Okay. And that's why this is, it's kind of really tough. By the way, this also proves to you that Trump isn't the Bitcoin president. You know what I'm saying? Because all gains lost, you're at a loss under his administration. So that early bump that you got, it came back down. And then eventually it'll all go up. It'll all be empowered everywhere, because they're all headed in one direction. It doesn't matter if you live in Mexico. It doesn't matter if you live in Argentina, if you live in Colombia, if you live in Russia. It doesn't matter where you live. Everything will be more expensive for you as time goes on. Why? Because every country will continue to print their currency and devalue it at the same time. That's why now a lot of countries are stocking up on gold now. And they're trying to, because it's the safe and it's the one that's, but eventually the education, and that's what's going on also with Bitcoin. This dip, this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful dip. And again, not financial advice, never has been, never will be, because I don't know anything. But the beauty about this dip right now, because I was fine with it when it went to 16. Is that we know that the world still doesn't know anything. They still don't understand what's going on in their own country. They still don't understand what it is about manipulating money. They still don't understand inflation, and they certainly don't understand Bitcoin. And I understand that because it's super intimidating in every way, fashion, and form, whether understanding it, adopting it, buying it, transactions, whatever. It's so new to think in Satoshis instead of dollars. I understand all of that. Okay. I was there years ago. I'm already way ahead on that. And that's because I'm comfortable with it all. Eventually people will catch on. Okay. It's just kind of the way it is. Years ago, when I left radio, I wanted to do platform because I knew this was the way. And people looked at me side-eyed like, well, you're going to go to a platform to do a show? And yeah, and here we are 6 years later. And now everybody does platforms and all that kind of shit. So although most people can't do what I do, but that's all right. It's just kind of a thing. And there's an adjustment to everything from email to checks to credit cards to everything. There's always been an adjustment to understanding how to use an iPhone. You know what I mean? That's just kind of the way it goes. Eventually people will get educated and they'll understand, and then they'll know, okay, wait a minute, what I'm doing is wrong. This is the way to go. And it is what it is, but that's fine. And this is actually my favorite time, because you get like the idiots out of the woodwork that don't know anything, but they think they're hurting you or something, like, making fun of you during the dip or something. You see, you're wrong or whatever, and so I love that too, because eventually I always end up laughing in the end. You know what I mean? Like the 127,000 that we were at, that's going to be nothing in the future. So I'm just not worried. What I also think too is that because the rich people are going to see what's going to happen, the clarity bill is going to pass, the $7 trillion that are on the sidelines, those people are going to buy very cheap. And then the people that sold are going to regret. And when they want to get back in, they're going to get in at a much more expensive price. So, it's just kind of to each his own. Again, it's not financial advice. I'm not telling you that I'm some expert or anything like that. It is what it is. But do your own homework. Do your own homework. And I would not be freaked out, and I'm not freaked out whatsoever by this Bitcoin dip. And Scott Bessent just proved it to me by buying back $4 billion of debt that they have no money to buy it back with. They added $2.5 trillion to our debt in the first year. $2.5 trillion. Nobody talks about that because Americans don't even follow that. They don't even know. Average Americans don't even understand that they added $2.5 trillion more, and how the interest in our debt, how it is building and building and building. And it's going to get to like 1.3, I think, trillion a year by the end of this year. 1.3 trillion just in interest that we're paying to our debt. It's ridiculous, but whatever. And that's where your inflation really comes from. And that's why construction has gone, corporate construction has gone, I put it on my social media there, it has gone into a nosedive, dude. Nosedive in 2025. And there's a lot of things that aren't going well. As you all know, some of you may believe BS, but so that's kind of where it is. The worse it gets, the stronger it'll end up making Bitcoin in the end. So like I told you, and I kept telling you this, and I will keep telling you this, and I will stay steadfast on this. The more this coils up like this, the vicious rip upward is going to be mind-blowing. The way I look at it is like I told a buddy of mine last night. So think about it. Now you're down to like $17,000 for a quarter of a Bitcoin right this moment. That's a gift. So for those of you that have money, bless you. I wish I had that I could buy a quarter of a Bitcoin. I got to buy like little slivers, like little tiny slivers. But it's just ridiculous right now. So that's the way I look at it. And it's a great opportunity for those of you that got in at 70, at 80, at 90. Now you can lower your price, your average. It's a gift. It's an absolute gift is what you can do. You know what I mean? To me, I don't look at the price because I'll stop buying when it goes crazy. But for now, I just want to stack it. Doesn't matter to me, the price. I don't really look at the price. I just stack. It doesn't matter. If it's 15,000, if it's 50, if it's 100,000, I'm just going to stack. It doesn't matter to me. To me, it's about owning as much as you can. You know what I mean? That's the kind of way I look at it. And we thank our friends at R&M Contractors, Ray and Mike. As always, 305-345-3649.
Complete remodel, kitchen upgrades with appliances, waterproofing, terrace, balcony, flood test report. That is so important here in South Florida because obviously insurance. And if you have a flood, you don't want it to go to your neighbors because that's what happens a lot of times. You know what I mean? And then you're calling Welton Rheaume because somebody had a busted pipe and the leak went into your home and your condo and your townhouse. So you don't want that. You want to have a flood test, a report, and you want to make sure it drains properly. They can do that for you. That's a pretty cool thing to have. Bathroom upgrades, maintenance, stucco repair. They do it all, man. R&M Contractors. If you want to see how exceptional their work is, go to their Instagram page at RMC Fisher Island. That's RMC Fisher Island. So there you go. All right. What else do we have here? By the way, don't forget at Hialeah Park, they have, I'm going to explain something that I don't understand, okay? But they have the Biggest Loser. That's me, but maybe it's this promotion. But anyway, either way, 500 for the highest losing hand, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., Thursday, Friday, Saturday, today, 4 p.m. to 12 a.m., and from all Full House and Texas Hold'em and 3 jacks and 2 twos, deuces, right? Whatever. In Omaha, 50% one card in Texas and 50% Turn River in Omaha. Again, I don't understand what I just read there. But you, poker people, you have this language, you understand it. You know, I'm an idiot. I don't understand it. Sundays and Mondays, by the way, they have free food, up to $20 voucher when you play 3 hours after 12 p.m. So take advantage. All right. They got daily poker events. They got the black card for all players from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Also, the morning flamingo from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Let's see what it says. It says 1,000 for first place, 500 for second place, and they're giving away 500 every 30 minutes, Sunday to Wednesday, 12 to 2 p.m., 10 p.m. to 12 a.m., Thursday to Saturday, 4 p.m. to 12 a.m., and Texas One Card takes 50%. Omaha, Turn, and River takes 50%. Again, I just read something I have no understanding of. But you poker people, it's like some language there. I don't know what the hell it is. Anyway, what do we got? Don't forget, folks, please smash the hell out of the like button. It gets the algorithms going. Gets them algorithms going. Very important. You get the algorithms going. And also, you can make a donation to the show. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can send in your questions, comments, insults. And we encourage that over the Super Chats only because we get 100% of the donation, whereas YouTube takes 30% there on the Super Chats. But we appreciate the Super Chats also. So thank you all out there, as always. All right. Let me do a little message board here. A little roll call. See what the misfits have to say out there. Let's see. Jaybird, good morning, sir. Good morning to you. I will see you there. Yes. Sean and I will be there Saturday as the Fort Lauderdale United are hosting Dallas Trinity. And we'll be there 5 o'clock. Yeah. No. What is it? 5 to 7 will be live because the game's at 8, not 7:30, 8 o'clock. So 5 to 7 we'll be doing the show out there. Big Johnson in the house. He says, got in a head-on collision, totaled my car on the way to work this morning. Somehow still alive, thank the Lord. Still in shock. I'm still here today, but still made it to work. Wow, Big Johnson, man. Sorry about that. Man. Yeah, you can send me a pic at Twitter, at Big O Show. Put it in the DM there. Okay? Send it through a DM at Instagram, the Big O Radio Show. And then you can find it also on Threads, the Big O Radio Show. You can find it on Blue Sky, the Big O Radio Show, Facebook, Orlando Alzigari and Big O Show. So there's lots of places you can send me a DM and send me the pic, and I'm just glad that you're all right, dude. Really glad. You're not even in the hospital or anything. So that's freaking awesome. Stephen Harris, happy belated anniversary, Sean. My apologies for being late. That's never late, bro. That's considerate is what that's called. So appreciate you, Stephen, and I hope you feel better, my brother, from getting under whatever you've been dealing with. Jeff in Long Island, Cosa, Magnus, Juan Rosa, Gus 1388, NorCal. I'll take Seattle 2317. Good morning, Big O, Sean, and chat crew. Anthony Kyle Campos, taking out American Airlines and Disney stock into Apple, Walmart, and Amazon. Yeah. I mean, look what's going on with the Washington Post, dude. Jake from Pallettown says, I'm buying more. You're a smart man, bro. What can I tell you? So did I. Brian Landis, think Blue Dodgers is checking in from L.A. Horn Dog in the house. Lenny Pena. Let's see. Jeff in Long Island says, whatever you believe in, stay in it. Bitcoin or stocks, most things always come back. Don't be afraid and make desperate decisions. That's when you lose. Amen. 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 Especially when the rich and powerful are purposely trying to shake the trees. Trying to shake the trees. Dips equals buying zones, says Alexis Palenzuela. Fernando Perez. Ronald Hubbard. Very happy anniversary to Sean and his wife. I don't get to listen live often, so I apologize for being late. You're never late, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you. Dolphin Dave, the great Stony Stanley, Louis Medina. Mark NorCal says, I was at a table when two people had four of a kind. One had pocket eights. Other dude had pocket sixes. It was wild, but the entire table split the bad bean pot. Okay. All right. There you go. More poker talk. Poker talk on the Big O Show. Let's see. What else? Dolphin Dave, of course. Dolphins need to go talk to Phillip Rivers about being a quarterback's coach. Why not? No. Ted, Jamie Zoria in the house. Dude just interviewed for a head coaching job. Do you think that the new head coach wants to hire a guy that is that name and wanted to be a head coach? Yeah, it's, you know what will happen? The first losing streak, why don't we put Phillip Rivers in there? And, you know, it's just so, just to give you the politics side of it, why it would never happen, okay? Just to give you the politics, a little bit of that. All right. What else do we have here? Ty in the Bronx is in the house. True Finn fan. Warriors traded come buckets for Tingus Pingus. I'm not even mad about that. Oscar Rojas is smashing it. Let's see. Yes, Oscar Rojas, I agree. The Panthers, they beat the Bruins last night. We should, Sean Stanley, give those Florida Panthers a victory cigar. All right. What's it called? Frankie says, how low will Bitcoin go? Don't know how far this Trump dump will be, my brother. You know what I mean? So it's kind of the way it goes. Volatility is the thing in this administration. Tariffs on, tariffs off, wars here, wars there, all kinds of craziness. So printing money like it's going out of style. There's a lot of craziness going on in this world right now. These are the things that technical analysis can never explain. But see, here's where I don't worry about it, Frankie. I don't worry about how low it can go. I worry about how much can I buy. Why? Not worried about how low it's going to go. I know how high it will end up. So that's why I'm not worried about it. I didn't flinch at 15,000. I don't get nervous. I don't ask questions. I don't do any of that. I know exactly what's going to happen. George Bush Jr. will print $6 trillion in his 8 years. Then comes the idiot Obama printing $8 trillion in 8 years. Then comes the moron Trump printing another $8 trillion in 4 years. And then comes deadbeat Biden with another $8 trillion in 4 years. And before this election ever happened, Frankie, since you listen every day, I said, because I don't give a shit about both parties, I said over and over, whoever wins this election, if it would have been Trump or Harris, will print $10 trillion in the next 4 years. Okay? And Trump printed $2.5 trillion already in his first year. They're increasing the budget on the deficit from 1.1 trillion to 1.5 trillion. That's another 400 billion that they're adding to it. That will also increase. That money's not coming in, no matter what he says, because you still have to pay for everything else: police, fire, streets, Social Security, Medicare, everything else. So, and the interest. Where are you going to get all that? Printer, winner, chicken dinner. So I don't worry about how low it'll go. I enjoy when it goes low because I know what's really going to happen in the end. Okay? Because they can't stop it. The Russians can't stop it. The Spaniards can't stop it. The French can't stop it. Go ask right now what Japan is going through. They are morons. They kept interest rates at 0% forever and buried their economy, and now they're going to pay for it. Now they're going to go through a hyperinflation faster than everybody else, pretty much in the bigger countries. Why? Because they mismanaged. They printed and they went and bought assets by printing cheap yen, right? I think it is theirs. So, or yuan. No, it's yen, right? Yen. Yuan's the other one. So, yeah, I mean, just brutal, dude. Brutal. It's a bad situation. So I don't worry about it at all. Every country, where I do give Trump credit, he made all the NATO countries, they used to spend like 1 or 2% on military. He made them all go to 5%. Where do you think they're going to get all that money? Every one of them. UK, got to print. France, got to print. So they're all going to devalue their money, and they're all having inflation issues. You know what I mean? And they all manipulate all the numbers. So, Frankie, I don't worry about the bullshit, dude. I know exactly what's going to happen. This thing started 8 digits behind a penny. 8 digits behind a penny. So, yeah, I don't worry about it. I never worry about that kind of stuff. It's a beautiful thing. Dolphin Dave, by the way, throws a happy anniversary your way there, Sean. Tack loves art. Praying for Big Johnson. We all are, but the good thing is he's not in the hospital, it looks like it. That's freaking awesome, dude. The great Skylar Tipton is in the house. What else? Big O, thank you, and Ocala Joe for recommending the series Sprung. It's low budget, but very, very funny. It is, isn't it? It's so fucking dysfunctional. It's funny. That's what it is. It's so fucking dysfunctional. It is hilarious, dude. Yeah, it's funny. Great job by Ocala Joe and Lourdes on that one. Let's see. Ray says, "What's your take on Joe Milton as a possible Finns QB?" Whatever, bro. You know what I feel. Nobody's saving you from where you're at right now. You know what I'm saying? So try any project at this point if you want to try one. Does it matter? I don't think that you spend any kind of significant money on quarterback. I've already said this. This team is going to be so bad. It has no culture. It has no team in place. No quarterback is going to succeed here. Okay? So first you must set a culture. First you must find and develop an offensive line. You know what I mean? The quarterback comes last. We've been asked backwards forever, and none of us ever learn. We go search for the quarterback and never have the team. And then you have to desperately build the team around Marino, and you can't. And so then you lose out. And with Tua, you didn't build it the way you were supposed to, and now you had to pay him, and now you're screwed. So if you're going to invest, the way I would do it, as I've said already, and I've explained it, I'd build up the team, and then I draft my quarterback. That way I have my team and I have my young quarterback that I don't have to pay for 5 years, and I'm ready to go. Like a Minnesota Vikings, kind of like that. They're stupid. They had the guy and they lost it. That's what you can't do either, But I think bringing a quarterback into this environment that you actually spent picks or money on is stupid. Okay? Stupid, to be quite honest. But if it doesn't cost you much, it's a veteran, you want to draft a 5th, 4th, 6th, 7th round guy to compete with yours, bring in an old veteran. That's what I would do. Bring in like a guy that can, keep the shit afloat for a while or whatever. I'm not bringing any kind of expensive player at that position in this environment. Fix the environment first before you add a quarterback. Let's see. Big O, have you seen them? No, I have not seen the movie Send Help. And I like Rachel McAdams. I will see it. Let's see. I think the Finns will win 7 games this year. I don't know what you're basing anything of that on. You have no idea who's going to be on the team, who they're signing, if anything, in free agency, who they're drafting. You have no idea what's going on. To put any number on anything right now, the number I would put is 1-800-ALARM-ME, because that's Slomin's home shield. We're in 49 of 50 states. Reach out to our friends. Tell them that Big O sent you. And with one intuitive app, baby, you can control the climate in your house. If it's too damn cold, get it warm. You got the dogs in the house, warm it up. If it's too damn hot, put on the AC. You can control the door locks, the lights, the music, the blinds, the TVs, just about anything in your home, which is a beautiful thing. Again, we're in 49 of 50 states. Slomin's been protecting Americans for 100 years. Tell them that Big O sent you. 1-800-ALARM-ME. What else? I wish I could print money right, Dolphin. There, like the governments, they have all the money. They have the printer there. How come they don't give you and me a printer to have in the house? Got to pay the bills. That's it. Isn't it nice? Right? Oh, we got to build something. A ballroom. All right, let's do it. Let's build the $300 million ballroom. But, let's destroy our healthcare, of course. We print for that, not for that. No, you can't do that. No, can't do that. So, yeah, that's kind of how it goes, man. Our priorities are all screwed up. Always have been, always will be, because we keep putting those idiot presidents from 2001 and on. And they've printed Frankie from 2001 on. All presidents have printed a total of $32.5 trillion. And we're 38.6 in the hole. Think about that. Our last 4 presidents have printed 32.5 of our $36.8 trillion deficit. All the presidents before that, they just printed the 6, which is bad. But all the other presidents printed 6 or more in each of their terms. There's a stat for you, Frankie. All presidents before the guys from 2001 on printed 6 trillion or more per year, per term, right? Yet before 2001, 6 trillion was our debt from all the other presidents from before. From 100 years. I know where we're going, Frankie. I know where we're going. And it's not a good place. But hey, man, don't worry about it. My Democrats will figure it out. My Republicans will figure it out. Sure they will, you idiots. Anyway. Let's see. The Bulls completely cleaned house. Funniest trade yesterday. Wow, Anthony, I know. Bro, you can trade anything in the NBA. That's why you got to trade Rozier, right? You can trade any trash in the NBA. James Harden and Anthony Davis were traded. Like 2 guys that I wouldn't want. Do you know the kind of rip job I would give the Miami Heat if they acquired those idiots? Although some of you morons wanted, I remember some of you wanted James Harden. Like, what the hell is wrong with you people? So, anyway. Veg says, any plans to travel for a game? No. There will be 0 traveling for the Dolphins for a long, long time. I will never travel for the Dolphins again until they start winning playoff games. That's bad. I'm done, dude. I'm done. I'm not going to training camp. I didn't go this past year. I'm not going ever again. Until they start winning, they got to win playoff games. Okay? Playoff games. I've been doing this into my 4th decade, dude. I'm done. This is my 36th year in the business. It's over for me. I'm done. The Dolphins want more coverage on my platform. They got to be good in order to do it. But this shit team that we've gotten here, I'm done, dude. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not working my ass off for that shit. I'm not traveling all over. I'm not doing any of that. No, dude. Screw that. No way. When they start winning playoff games, not a fluky one. No. They come back the next year and win another one. Then the following year after that, I can start to really believe that there's actually something going on. But until they start doing that, I have 0 interest in spending my time, sweat, or money in this organization. Done. Bro, it's over. You know, I will cover them the way I have now. We'll talk about it and cover it. We'll have Furones on. I'll bring an extra guy on during the season. I was eliminating pregame. If Mike McDaniel really came back, I was not going to do pregame anymore. You know, I was just going to keep shaving off the coverage. That's what I keep doing on the platform, if you notice. I just keep shaving off bro, I'm not wasting my time. What I may do now is increase my coverage on the Canes. That's what I may do. Bring on another insider besides Manny. That's what I may do. Sorry. I'm gonna spend my time and my energy and my sponsors' money on things that matter, bro, on things that actually are paying off for us. I'm tired of putting bullshit hope in an organization that can't find their ass with a funnel. So, you know, I'm done. You want it? You got to earn it, bitch. You want my money? Earn it, mother effer. Earn it. If not, you ain't getting shit from me anymore, dude. Done. Let's see. Nobody cares about the Winter Olympics, Frankie. Yeah, unfortunately. And let me tell you something. The Lindsay Vonn injury, that killed me, bro. Like that's something I was looking forward to. I was so proud of her because she's one of the toughest athletes in the world. Don't even insult her by saying she's a tough female athlete. F you, dude. She's one of the toughest athletes in the history of sports. Her fearlessness and how she's come back from everything and achieve stuff after, like what she did now at 41 after, with a titanium knee and crap. This is like ridiculous. And now she's still I'm sure she's gonna have some special brace or something, because with the ACL, I don't know how the hell she's gonna do this, but how many people would be crazy enough to even do that? We got NBA players that can't play because they stubbed their nail or something, or they've got the sniffles or whatever. This woman's got a ruptured ACL and says, nah, yeah, you know what? Downhill slalom, it's on, bitch. They don't make them like that. That really took the air out of my sails for the Winter Olympics. I was really looking forward to that because I love the skiing events. I love speed skating. I love the skiing events. There are some things that I look forward to, and I was really looking forward to Lindsay. So much respect for her, man. And the other thing that, we talk about with the Fort Lauderdale United ladies, right? And I talked about it with the coach last week, how the ACL in females is just, it ruptures so much easier than for males. It's the weirdest genetic flaw between males and females. And it's brutal. And there's Lindsay. It's just, it's tough. Something they've got to figure out. I don't know what they can do or whatever. I'm sure down the line they'll figure out the what's it called, the DNA that they got to mess with to strengthen that or something. I'm sure they'll do it down the line. I'll be dead and gone by then, but I'm sure they'll figure it out. But that's where I feel bad for female athletes, man. It's been something that's just haunted them for forever. Jafrod says, just bought some Bitcoin today. The dip is the best thing going on at the moment. Smart man. He gets it. Eric Simon says, Big O, bye Bitcoin, baby. You know it. Let's see. What else? The only guy I would want to bring is Winston. Yeah. That's not going to cost you a world of money and something like that. Yeah, he's a great locker room guy. Obviously, you're right. He'll be entertaining as a mofo because he'll come up with some crazy ass stuff. That's right, Big Johnson. Call Welton Rheaume. They can take care of you just in case if those people were in the wrong. Take advantage. What else? Wife and I travel to see the fans in the new city. We plan to travel to Denver for Fins. Right, but you don't live in Miami. That's why. I get it. The outside fans from South Florida, they got to travel at least to go see them, if they want to see them. So I get it. Plus, where you're at, going to Denver it's not a really long trip, so that's not bad. Captain Saki, baby, checking in from Tarpon Springs. Frank says, I have not bought anything Dolphins since 23. They have broken me. Yeah, they broke me last year. It took everybody this year. It was, if you didn't notice, it was me last year in the off season. I was like, no, it's it. I'm done. This season's going to be terrible. I'm not covering anything and all that. Like Sean looked at me in the offseason like, yeah, no, we're not going to training camp. We're not traveling. We're not, nothing. And I told you guys, I'm only doing the Spain trip because to me, that's like the highlight of our season. Basically it was. So, and that's it. Just because a travel, go to Spain, whatever. And it was great because I did where NorCal's right. The best thing is meeting Dolphin fans on the trip. You know what I'm saying? That's the best thing is meeting the Dolphins. You know, dude, I've got friends from this show. You know, that's another great thing about this show, that I've met people that have been supporters and whatever, and now they're friends, you know, and that's cool to me. That's what I like, actually. The team just, you know, the team's pathetic. What can I do? So I ain't doing anything more with the team until they start bringing it, dude. I'm tired. I'm not going to feed you guys bullshit every week and bring on a bunch of writers and all that. For what, man? For what? Talk about the same bullshit over and over? Nah. Make it good. I want to talk about good stuff over and over again. I'm tired of talking about negative stuff over and over again. You know, what am I going to do? Sit here and bitch about everything that just happened from last year and all? No, dude. Yeah, there's plenty of other places you can get that stuff. I'll talk about other things. Just give me something, you know. It's I think it's Young the Giant. Just give me something to believe in. Da-na-na-na-na. Right? I like Young the Giant. Very good. Andrew Mann, stop pimping Bitcoin. I'm not pimping anything, dude. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. You don't want to do it? That's your effing problem, not mine. I'm more than happy where I'm at. Let's see. Tua can learn a lot from Lindsay. Who's Lindsay? What Lindsay is he talking about, Sean? Lindsay Buckingham? Lindsay Lumber? You can do it with Lindsley's help. I'm really in a bad place. Anyway, go ahead, Sean. What do you got for me? I can't hear you.
Lindsay Vonn.
Oh, Lindsay Vonn. I would. No, she can learn a lot from him. She needs his ACLs. Let's see, Mr. Mad Max. I feel what you're saying, Big O. We are tired of losing. Dolphins always screw us some way, somehow. I'm still a fan, but we suck. Will things get better? Only time will tell. Yeah, none of us know, dude. Every single one of us pray to the sports gods and say, bro, come on. You know, enough is enough. We've sucked long enough. Please give us a good coach. Give us a good front office. You know, find us a real team we can be proud of. We all want that. Do we know if these guys can do it? We have no idea. We just are hopeful. But I'm just not doing it anymore, bro. I'm just not doing it anymore. You know, we just keep chasing the tail and all that, and there's no substance to anything. And that's just a load of bullshit. Don't forget, folks, you mentioned our name at Subaru of Pembroke Pines at 16100 Pines Boulevard. You will get $500 off. So if you're looking to buy or lease a vehicle, get on down there. They've got great deals going on right now. A selection like the Crosstrek. They've got a great selection. That way you can kind of pick the car you want, the color you want, the style you want, the model you want, and get the price you want, baby, at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Go see my guy, Eric Stampone. Alan is the GM. He is pure class. Just an awesome, awesome human being. Go check him out there at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Pat in Asheville says, us old-timers longing for the days where the Dolphins would win a playoff game and get destroyed in the divisional round. Yes. Yeah. Let's see. Big O, I say the Dolphins should change their name to the Miami Packers and eliminate the whale logo. Bail on the whale. You got to bail on that whale, bro. Bail on that whale. Big Johnson says, thanks, guys. I live up in Ohio now, but if her insurance doesn't cover at least the car, I may give them a call. I don't know if they do it there, but they might be able to take care of you or lead you to somebody, actually. Seriously, they might actually know somebody. If they can actually take care of you, which maybe they could. I don't know. I don't know if they're licensed there. I'd have to ask, or you ask when you call 954-966-4646. and ask for Jeff or Dan and ask them. And they may, if they can't take care of you, they may know somebody, which is actually really cool because they know a lot of people. That's a lot of our listeners over the years. They either take care of a lot of them, but there's actual cases. I would probably say like 10% of the cases. I don't know. I'm throwing out some crazy number, but he tells me that, in fact, I've gotten a couple of emails from you guys like, hey, dude, Jeff and Dan were really cool. They couldn't take care of me because I had this special case, but they led me to the right guy. And, when you've been in the business for, 20-something years or something, these guys know everybody. So that's why I would tell you to, go check it out and call Jeff and Dan. They might lead you to the right place if they can't take care of it. They might be able to take care of it. Who knows? Who knows, man? Who knows? Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. We are at 67.5. 67.5. That is awesome. Okay. Forgive me right now. I've done this before on the show. I've bought Bitcoin while I'm on the show. And if it goes lower, we'll buy a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? But it's a beautiful thing. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Boom. Yes. What I love is that, like, if you have like a number that you normally buy at, and you buy that number and you notice how much sats you're getting, you notice how it's more and more sats every time, which I love it because the cheaper the Bitcoin, the more Bitcoin you're getting. And I love it. I love it. This is fantastic. Where are we at with the market, by the way? Market must be, it's bleeding. 585 points. Yep. The S&P's down 87. The Nasdaq's down 2. Yeah, more Trump dumping. Yeah. The Trump dumps continue. What are you going to do? It is what it is. Big O, do you want Shakur destroy Teofilo in boxing this past weekend? Oh, man. You know what? I didn't even watch any of that. I didn't watch any of that. Didn't even know it was going on. Remember, I was out this weekend. I was in Jacksonville. I was having a great time. I was hanging out with Ho Yoon. I was hanging out with Ocala Joe and his wife Lourdes. We went to a John Wake concert. So my mind was in, I was relaxing, dude. I was having a good time, and getting to know some friends. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that was actually way more important. And I didn't really watch any sports over the weekend. Didn't really care to watch any sports over the weekend, to be quite honest. I wanted to be with my wife and have a good time. So I'm sorry, dude. I wasn't even thinking about that stuff at all. Didn't even know it was happening. Did not know at all. So sorry, dude. Can't comment on something that I really didn't even know it was going on. Rosendo, good morning to you, sir. Let's get to our 3A Graphics Sports Calendar and the one and only Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. Custom printing and embroidery. Panthers last night, big win, bro. They got it over the Bruins, 5-4. Bob had 25 saves. Lundell and Kachuk both had a goal. Lundell had 2 assists. Kachuk also had an assist. And Belinsky also had a goal and assist in the game. Tonight, they're back in action at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is minus 185 on the money line. The Panthers are plus 155 on the money line. They need this badly. They have no room for error anymore. Now they go to the break. They need this win. And when they come back from the break, They better have the run of all runs if they want to get into the playoffs. It's going to be hard. Not going to be easy for them. Saturday, 2 o'clock, University of Miami back in action against BC. Miami 17-5, 6-3 in the ACC. Saturday at 8 o'clock at Beyond Bankcard Field. Our very own Fort Lauderdale United, they are hosting Dallas Trinity. Get your tickets, FTLUTD.com. All right? Go cheer on the ladies as they try to make the playoffs again and maybe get to the finals. Warriors yesterday send Kuminga, Buddy Hield for Porzingis from the Atlanta Hawks. The Mavs somehow traded that bum Anthony Davis to the Wizards. Oh, my God. That's when you know you're in purgatory in an 8-player trade. I'm not going to waste my time. Chris Middleton and all kinds of other bums in there. And they did add 2 first-rounders and 3 second-rounders and all that and whatever. OKC, by the way, added a nice little guard in Jared McCain from Philadelphia. They gave up a 2026 first-round pick and 3 second-round picks in the process. And that is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right? All right. All right. Big O just saw Lindsay Vonn's training video post ACL on Instagram. That's one tough SOB rooting for her on Sunday. I don't know how it's going to go. I'll watch the fight, Frankie. I'll check it out after. I'll find it somewhere, wherever the hell it's at. Let's see. Ooh, Gemini is ceasing operations in the UK. They're still not crypto friendly over there, those assholes. Is that what's going on? I thought they were changing their ways over there. I don't know how Vonn is going to do it. Anyway, what are you going to do? All right. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? You know what? Let me do music before I get to the Dolphins because Bobby Slowick had something. The only thing that was interesting in all those press conferences, everything else has been blah, 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 blah. Everybody can say the right things. It's about doing them and accomplishing them. That's where the real impressive part actually takes over. All right, here we go. Let's do a little music. And by the way, I got my tickets for Triumph here in Hollywood. I'm switching them for the one in Tampa. So I'm not going to go to Tampa or Orlando, at least not right now. Maybe I'll change my mind then or whatever. But I've got a bunch of other stuff that's coming up that I want to go. I got to go to Biffy Clyro. I really want to go to Biffy Clyro badly. And I'm going to go to No Doubt out in Vegas and Echo and the Bunnymen and Santana. So, got to kind of, pick and choose my battles, as they say. But if you're going to be at Triumph here in Hollywood, make sure you seek me out and send me a DM so we can hook up and have a beer or a drink or whatever it is. Always appreciate you all out there, as always. Love you guys out there for supporting the show. Let's see. Here we go. Let's go with the musicians born on February 5th, because I know you guys can't go to sleep, can't continue your days, because it's your prerogative. And so Bobby Brown was born in 1969 on this date. And that's why it's your prerogative to know. Chris Barron from the Spin Doctors. Little Miss Can't Be Wrong. Born in 1968, the singer for the Spin Doctors. Duff McKagan, bassist with Guns N' Roses, born in 1964. He was also with Velvet Revolver, too. All right. It's a pretty good list so far. Paul Jones, bassist with the Wales band Cantonia, born in 1960. Dave Denny, guitarist with the Steve Miller Band, born in 1948. Nigel Tufnell, guitarist with the parody heavy metal band Spinal Tap, born in 1948. Our amps go to 11. Let's see. Al Cooper, record producer and musician known for organizing Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Let's see. Oh, and by the way, whoa, disappeared on me there a little bit. There we go. Born in 1944. J.R. Cobb from the Atlanta Rhythm section, ARS. I'm so into you. Although my favorite song is Spooky. Spooky little girl like you. Let's see what else. Chuck Winfield from Blood, Sweat, and Tears, the trumpet and musician for Blood, Sweat, and Tears, born in 1943. Corey Wells, vocalist with Three Dog Night, born in 1942. Mama told me not to come. Let's see what else. Hal Blaine, best known for his work with the Wrecking Crew. Okay. Blaine played on numerous hits by Elvis Presley, John Denver, the Ronettes, Simon and Garfunkel, the Carpenters, the Beach Boys, Nancy Sinatra, the Fifth Dimension. He also played on 40 number one hits, over 150 top 10 hits, and he's recorded, in his own admission, and over 35,000 pieces of music over 4 decades of work. Blaine died of natural causes on March 11th of 2019 in his Palm Desert, California home at the age of 90 years old. Hal Blaine was slightly talented. Like, slightly. Can you imagine your work is just all over the Hall of Fame? It's not just with musicians. It's all over the Hall of Fame, dude. That's ridiculous. Rest in peace, Hal. So there you go. I told you guys, watch The Wrecking Crew. Told you. Muscle Shoals. Okay? If you love music, you will love those documentaries, and you will learn so much. All right, we go with famous people. And remember, if I give you an age, that means they're still with us. If I don't, then unfortunately they have passed away. Actor John Carradine, born in 1906. Comedian Red Buttons, born in 1919. Baseball Hall of Famer Hank Aaron, born in 1934. Hockey commentator Don Cherry, born in 1934. He is 92 today. Let's see who else. TV writer producer Stephen J. Cannell. Good night, Mr. Cannell. Born in 1941. Football Hall of Fame member Roger Staubach, born in 1942. He is 84 today. Filmmaker Michael Mann, born in 1943. He is 83. Miami Vice. Let's see who else celebrating birthdays. Motorsports Hall of Fame member Darrell Waltrip, born in 1947. He's 79. Filmmaker, actor Christopher Guest, born in 1948. He's 78. Actress Barbara Hershey, born in 1948. She's 78. Or is that Postman? Doesn't he ring twice? Let's see. Tom Wilkinson, born in 1948. He's 78. Actor Tim Meadows, born in 1961. He's 65. Wasn't Barbara Hershey also Mr. Goodbar? Anyway, Jennifer Jason Lee, born in 1962. She's 64. Laura Linney, born in 1964. She's 62. World Golf Hall of Fame member Jose Maria Olazabal, born in 66. He is 50. Okay. Jose Maria Olazabal, born in 56. He's 50. Got to do it the Spanish way. Comedian actor Chris Parnell, born in 1967. He's 59. Actor Michael Sheen, born in 1969. He's 57. Musician Sarah Evans, born in 1971. She's 55. Queen Mary of Denmark, born in 1972. She's 54. Dan Bachner from Arcade Fire, born in 1978. He's 48. Futbolista Estrella Cristiano Ronaldo, born in 1985. He's 41. Musician Kyle Simon from Bastille, born in 1988. He's 38. Soccer star, futbolista, Neymar, he's 92. Actor Luke Newton, born in 93, he's 33. And that is it for famous people. Sean Stanley, do you happen to have wrestlers born on this date, sir? No mic. No mic. It doesn't work without a mic, Sean. I don't know how many times we have to have this conversation. You got to
put myself on the screen is what it is.
Jesus.
So Mace is 35. Mara Sade is 31. Madison Rain turns 40. And Pinta turns 41 on February 5th, 2026.
All right. There you go. There you go. All right. Let's go to what happened today in music history. That's very important. Okay. On February 5th. All right, here we go. In 71, Black Sabbath began recording their third album, Master of Reality, at the Island Studios in London. The album will go on to become their first top 10 album in the U.S. In 78, on this date, Emerson, Lake and Palmer broke up. In 80, on this date, The Cure released the compilation Boys Don't Cry in the United States, Canada, Germany, and Australia. The compilation includes 9 tracks from The Cure's 79 UK-only debut album, Three Imaginary Boys, along with the 3 singles released in the meantime, included the title track, Jumpin', Someone Else's Train. It's a great song, by the way. And the controversial Killing an Arab, which, by the way, he performed Killing an Arab here. He wasn't performing it in every show, but in one of the Cure's last shows, he did Killing an Arab, which I was floored. Like, wow, I didn't know he was still doing that song, and it's such an awesome song. You got to listen to it. Anyway, Boys Don't Cry was assembled and released to give the Cure more exposure outside of Great Britain. It succeeded in its mission, and it got its own release in Britain in 83. In 2012, Rolling Stone magazine ranked Boys Don't Cry at number 438 in its list of the 500 greatest albums of all time. In 83, on this date, Def Leppard's third album, Pyromania, entered the Billboard 200 album charts at number 69. The album would peak at number 2, spending 116 weeks on the charts, selling more than 10 million records in the U.S. alone. In 94, ZZ Top entered the Billboard 200 charts at number 14 with their 11th studio album, Antenna, which was their first album for RCA Records. The album went on to sell 1 million copies in the U.S. In 2006, the Rolling Stones performed the halftime show at the Super Bowl in Detroit. The NFL imposed a 5-second delay and censored lyrics considered too explicit. Okay. In 2010, Sade, never saw her in concert. Would love to. She's not touring anymore, but man. Anyway, she released her 6th album, Soldier of Love. It features the title track, Baby Father, The Moon in the Sky. In, let's see, 2016, Dr. Dog released their 8th studio album, The Psychedelic Swamp. It features singles Badvertise, Bring My Baby Back. It's based upon recordings from 2001. I have no idea who Dr. Dog is, but I figured, read something off the beaten path. Not Dr. Dre, not Snoop Dogg, but it was Dr. Dog. I don't know. Anyway. Let's see. I'm more of a Hong Kong Phooey guy. In 2021, Foo Fighters released their 10th studio album, Medicine at Midnight. It features the singles Shame, Shame, No Son of Mine, Waiting on a War, Making a Fire, and Love Dies Young. In 2021, Black Country New Road released their debut studio album for the first time. It features the singles Science Fair, Track X, Athens, France, and Sunglasses. I have no idea. Again, just kind of throwing a dart. Let's see, but somebody may know that's out there. Might be a fan. Let's see. Any birthdays that weren't on the other list? Nope. It looks like we are free. We've got the whole thing there. There we go. All right. That's what happened today in Musica history. All right. What do we have here? Besides, of course, all your cooling and plumbing, 1-800-204-5554. They've been in business since 1973. They're starting year number 53 now. They service Homestead to Vero Beach, and they've got a new location in Naples, because I know we got a lot of listeners over on the West Coast, because a lot of them called Jeff and Dan when they had the back-to-back storms, dude. I mean, they got a bunch of clients from that side because they listened to the show, and they had their adjusters and all that, and so they really took care of people over there on the West Coast. But anyway, if you need any cooling, heating, plumbing, extended warranties, financing available, same-day installations, free repairs, 7-day-a-week service, please call our friends at All Your Cooling and Plumbing. They are Florida's #1 AC and plumbing service. So call them and tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you. I promise you. Good people, man. Really good people. My AC starting its 16th year. They installed it in 2010. Okay. All Your Cooling. No sponsor is on this show that I don't personally use and put them through the ringer. So, it's just kind of like that's kind of the way it goes on this show. What else do we have? I got for Human League. I want to go to that too. I want to go to the Human League also. Yes. It's Human League and Allison Moyet, dude. That's that's my bonus there, dude. That's my bonus. I get to see Allison Moyet, and she still sounds phenomenal. So I get to hear her Yaz stuff, and then I get to hear her solo stuff, like Love Resurrection, which is a great song from Allison. I follow her on Twitter. She's a pretty outspoken person too. But anyway, I can't wait to see Allison Moyet. I'm looking forward to the Human League. I've seen them before, and I can't wait to see them again. But the Allison Moyet is the thing that got me right there, dude. That's exactly why I want to go in a big time way. What else do we have here? Rosendo says, agree, buying the dip, but this is not the direction I wanted Bitcoin to go through. Well, but this is how it goes, dude. When you have what you have in the administration right now, there's a ton of uncertainty. You are creating more enemies than friends. Your allies, or you have created a board of peace, and none of your allies are on it. Bunch of other ruthless countries are on it that are ruthless with their people. How's that a board of peace, by the way? You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of shit going on, and it's hurting the financial world, and it's hurting us. We're isolating ourselves. We're not really, as open to trade like we were before because of all the tariffs. So that's creating economically problems, all kinds. Go look at our construction numbers. Go look at it. Sean, pull it up. I put up the tweet. Show me the graph. Show them the graph. Our corporate construction numbers, how they talk about all these new businesses being built and all kinds of stuff, right? Let me show you something that most of you have no clue what's going on and have no idea what's going on, whether you're stuck in one party or the other or whatever. But if you know what's going, less people are putting money in right now. It's not their, they tell you one thing, it's completely the opposite. Okay. He'll pull it up now. You're going to watch how corporate construction was on the rise all the way up through 2024. Watch what it looks like now in 2025. Look at the direction it's going in. And it shocks you. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, it's like they tell you, Biden was telling you the economy was fine too, and it wasn't. And this guy tells you the same thing, the economy is fine. And it's not, because you live it and I live it and all that. So people have to sell. And then they get scared, and then there's a lot of people that own Bitcoin and they don't even know what they own. And so then they get panicked and they sell. That's kind of the way it goes. And this is what you got to live. And those of us that do understand it, we take advantage of the dips because we know eventually it goes the other way and it takes off. You know what I'm saying? So I understand you're concerned, but this is nothing new with Bitcoin where it has its ups and downs, and then it goes to higher points after. And it's just, can you weather it and can you take advantage of it? Because it allows you to add more at a cheaper price. So, the math is the math. And over time, it only goes this way. Over 17 years, it only goes this way. You'll have volatility, but the volatility is opportunity. And that's the way I look at it. So if it goes down into the 50s, so be it. I'm not going to be panicking at all because I know what's going to end up happening. The rich are going to layer it in, and they're going to take all the cheap Bitcoin, and then the middle class and the poor are going to realize when it's in the hundreds, oh my God, I should have bought, and then they're going to buy little thin slices. And that's the way it goes, unfortunately. People learn the hard way, and nothing is changing all around the world. So just got to hang in there if you can, of course. That's the whole thing. Some of us can't. Some of us can, and we got to sell. I got to sell. I got to pay bills. You got to sell. You got to pay bills. We're working stiffs. It is what it is. I said I think 32 or 92. Big O, if you're not a boxing fan, you're not going to understand what happened between Stevenson and Lopez. Well, I'm a huge boxing fan, but I didn't watch anything. So I was busy this weekend. I was having a good time. Oscar says there's actually been scientific correlation between women's ACL injuries and their menstrual cycles. I'm actually not kidding. No, I know, I get it. FIFA has funded money last year investigating this corporate correlation. I know it's a funky thing, dude. It's a funky thing, and it sucks for women, dude, especially female athletes. It's like GMs in baseball will tell you when they sign a pitcher to a long-term contract, they're signing him with the expectations that he's going to miss at least a year to elbow surgery because it's the inevitable. And kind of in female sports, that becomes the inevitable also, So, yeah, it's crazy. It really is. Anyway, what can I tell you, ladies and gentlemen? What can I tell you? And we are at 67.3. Let's see. Stevenson destroyed Lopez. It was a really good fight. Dr. Dog, a really good indie rock band. You should check them out, Big O. You see how somebody always knows something that you don't know? I have no idea who that is. And there's that gentleman right there chiming in, and he likes Dr. Dog. Okay. I'll check it out. I don't know. I've never heard of him in my life. You know what I'm saying? So I'll check it out. I'll check out some videos when I relax later on. Basketball Jones is in the house. By the way, has the Heat done anything stupid yet or smart or something, Ashan? Nothing so far? All right. If they do something, worthy or something like that, I will reach out to Ira and we will do a segment today. So be alert for that. But we got to wait till 3 o'clock. We got to wait till it's over because it's not over until it's over. Over? Did you say over? Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Germans? Forget it. He's on a roll. Let's see. Rosendo says, agree. We had the same situation in U.S. history. It was called the Great Depression. And all of that will, anything like that will empower Bitcoin to kingdom come. So, I'm not concerned at all. I am happy I know it's twisted, but I'm not worried about it because I'm not here for today. I'm worried about tomorrow. I'm not worried about today. So that's where my whole vision is for the future, not right now. So, and they're doing plenty to bury it. So, short-term market volatility equals to long-term opportunities for savvy investors. He is great. He is great. Brett Dodger gets it. And yes, Rosendo Animal House is a great movie. So yesterday, Bobby Slowick, your new offensive coordinator, former passing coordinator for the Miami Dolphins, and those receivers ran great routes for Bobby and for Mike. They always knew where to line up, and the passing game was, at its best. So Bobby Slowick now in charge of your offense. He was addressing the Meteors yesterday for the first time as the offensive coordinator. And obviously, the Tua questions come up, the Tua concerns. What's going to happen? Is there a future for Tua? And so the media started off by asking Coach Slowick about how Tua handled everything last year. And here is Coach Slowick.
Like, we're way early in the process of this whole thing with the new staff. There's new people everywhere. Being perfectly honest, we're still going through the staffing on my end. That hasn't quite been buttoned up yet. So we still got some things going on there. So like the player evaluation mode, we're still in that also. There's a lot of new coaches. I got to get to know the team. So even getting to the point where we're able to talk about who's going to be here, how are we going to do this, we haven't even got anywhere remotely close to that, with the exception of knowing that we're going to try to push competition as often as we can at every single spot. What I can say about Tua, just from being with him last year, I know last year was a difficult year. It was a difficult year for him, without a doubt, for a lot of different reasons. And I think what jumped out to me was like the grace he handled that with, the way he went about his daily routine through that season, even at the end of the year, the kind of person he was to everybody and to his teammates. Really, I mean, that you can't say enough about that, how good of a person he was and how he handled that situation is all you could ask for.
And by the way, Bobby Slowick is pictured there. The moment where Sean Stanley says, by the way, Bobby, you're a good-looking man. And then he said, Sean, I'm married. So I don't know about that. But hey, I'm sorry. As I digress, I'm sorry. So Bobby talks a little bit about how Tua handled it. And, they're early in the process of figuring it all out, even though he was with him the entire year, whatever, all that kind of stuff. And obviously, he has no control over personnel. Zero. Okay, there's a part in the press conference where he's like, is he on the roster? We love them all. It was like one of those, like, I'm never going to say anything bad about somebody that's on the roster, basically. So, and Tua, however he handled it, it's fine. But he was kind of telling you, we're early in the process of all of that. So the question then, obviously, somebody follows up with, do you believe in Tua? Can Tua turn it around? Can Tua find his way back to being a starter again? All those kind of things. The very married Bobby Slowick answers.
What I think is so great about sports, and really why, a large reason people get into coaching is, there's stories like that all the time. You're talking about people that are at the peak of their profession. They're the best in the world at what they do, not just physically, but like mentally. They're some of the strongest human beings there are. And some of the things that all athletes every year you hear comeback stories come back from are incredible. So absolutely, I think Tua can absolutely bounce back. I think that's one of the great things about sports.
So we'll find out if he can bounce back. But listen, we've talked about this on the show. I understand that that Teron Armstead, thought that Mike McDaniel and Tua would be back for week 1 of next year. But we don't play the rainbows and unicorn rolls here on the show. We live here in reality. Okay. We don't live in fantasy land and all that. We don't try to hide things about our teams. We're brutally honest about what it is. We understand that there's, many in the media that just want to play that fence straddling. They don't want to hurt anybody's feelings and those kind of things. They want to be everybody's friend and all that, but we don't do that here on the show. They're going to cut them. They're going to drop them like a bad habit. They're going to take the hit because they cannot inherit their problem. Okay? That's Mike McDaniel's problem. That's Chris Greer's problem. If they inherit and bring them on, they all of a sudden now they've got a tsunami of questions all year. Because if any quarterback struggles, why don't you play Tua? And if you do play Tua and he gets injured again, you will be on the hook for more money. So you got to unload him now and take the hit. And plus, the good thing is it's their mistake, not your mistake. So the best thing for Sully is cut him. Hey, dude, we had to get rid of him. That was a cap thing, and we had to get rid of him, and he's not our problem. And so he cleans his hands with it. It's the smartest thing. And now he could go find his own guy. But if you keep him, you bring on a whole bunch of crap that you just don't need. You just don't need it. It's ridiculous. It's not smart to do that. And they're going to cut him. Now, Bobby Slowick didn't say, hey, we're going to cut him. We don't want anything to do with him. No, players can come back. That's the beauty of this league. We've watched all kinds of players come back. And he's right. He's so right. There have been a lot of players that have come back from all kinds of injuries, things that you never thought they could come back from. They didn't look like they were playing right, and all of a sudden they fixed themselves. Saquon Barkley had a lot of injuries with the Giants, and then he goes to Philadelphia and puts together a year that was magical, and it led to a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? They took the chance because the guy had a rich injury history, and yet there it goes. And so far, he hasn't even been really injured. He didn't have a great year this year, but it's not because he was injured a bunch or anything like that. So he's been pretty durable lately, and this happens a lot. Guys come back. And this is Bobby Slowick on behalf of the Dolphin organization telling the NFL, we're going to try to trade him before we cut him, because that's what you say. Yeah, he could come back. Of course, you got to talk it up. You can't talk it down. Well, I was in the room with him and then on the practice field, and it looked like he lost his arm strength, and all of a sudden he moved a lot slower, and I don't know what was going on. Is he going to tell you that? Because that's what we saw. Okay, what we saw was a guy that all of a sudden his arm died out on him, and then also moving around. He looked a lot more stiff moving around. It was like the weirdest thing. He completely, and he's too young for it to, so could it come back? I don't know. I mean, if it can, he never will have another shot again. Let's be honest. If he doesn't find his physical form from 2 years ago, he has no shot at ever really doing anything in the NFL again. But can he? Maybe he can. Maybe he needs to tweak something. Maybe he needs some kind of surgery, cleanup. Maybe he needs Nick Hicks. I don't know. All I do know is when he was with Nick Hicks, he was at his best. So this was a message of, we're going to try to trade him. And why not? If you have to pay some of the salary, so the team takes on less salary, and they give you a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, a seventh round pick. I doubt seventh, but if you want a fourth, fifth, or sixth, you'll pay for a little extra money. Then you do that. You're going to lose the money anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's the old man's money. It doesn't matter. You'll get a pick out of it like you did with Tannehill. You got a fourth round pick because you paid some of Tannehill's salary. But that was your message there to the NFL, to the fan base. They may not have, you may interpret it one way or another, but this is the way you need to interpret it. Okay? We're going to play this game that we believe in Tua. We believe that players can make it back, and we're going to talk it up, and we're going to try to trade them. And if nobody bites, then we'll have no choice. We've got time, and then we'll cut them. They're not going to play them. They're not going to practice them. They're not going to put them at any chance of getting any injury. But they're going to try to first move them if they can. It makes sense. You got to try to move them if you can. If you can't move them, then so be it, man. So be it. That's all right. It's not the end of the world. So be it. Anyway. Let's see. Bless your attitude, Big O. Stay humble. Yeah, man. I mean, when it went down to 15, 16,000, it was the same shit. I'm not worried about it. I know where we're going. I know who's presidents. You know, at that moment, it was old ass Biden. Whatever. I know what's going on. I'm not worried about it at all. I just wish more people would figure out what's going on. That's where, Rosendo, for me, the saddest part about all of this, while I'm the guy going, oh my God, this is awesome. I get to stack more Bitcoin. I'm stacking it cheaper now, so I'm getting more Bitcoin. I can get, closer to my target and all that kind of stuff. I love that. But at the same time, there's a part of me that feels terrible because I know it's not the rich people selling the Bitcoin. I know it's the hardworking people that are panicking, it's just it sucks, dude. And that's the problem that I have with all of this, that there's so much shock to the markets. By the way, did you ever put that graph up? You never put it up. You can't find it on the Twitter feed? Seriously? It's on my Twitter feed. I was trying to find it to make a point to Frankie. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Maybe I didn't post it there. Oh, I thought I did. Wow. Okay. Well, then you know what I'll do, Sean? I can actually send it to you then.
Yeah, there's one about debt, but nothing about what you said.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. I can actually send it to you. Like I just did. Okay. There you go. So it's just, there's a lot of shock to the system in all kinds of ways. And so it's affecting things in different levels, unfortunately. And that's why there's a lot of panic selling going on. And that's why I think the rich are going to get even richer, because this is kind of like, this is a wealth transition that is going on right now, unfortunately. And it's scary. By the way, where are we at with Bitcoin right now? We are at 67.8. Okay. 67.8. And the markets are right now, the Dow is down 511 points. Let me see if it refreshes and it gets a little better. Hopefully, S&P is down 65 and the NASDAQ is down 1.5 around there is where it's at. Did you get it finally? Because, it's kind of like it shows you, that you want to grow as an economy, but you can't grow if they're really not building stuff at the corporate level. Okay, take it off there. Look at that. Right up to 2024. Look at 2025. That's that hook. That's 2025. Up until 2024, manufacturing was going up. Corporate manufacturing is down. There you go. There's a shock that is going on all over the place. No matter what they tell you, But and this is all part of all of this. Yeah. See? And that's a sharp decline in the last year. That is a sharp ass decline in the last year. So, a dead person was creating more construction. A dead person. It's pretty bad. Big O with the trade of Porzingis yesterday. I think the Warriors are probably, the Warriors are out. It looks like it. That's what they say with all that stuff that went on. They are. And then they say now that the Bucks aren't really going to end up trading Giannis. I guess whatever trades were out there weren't enticing enough. So they're hanging on to Giannis. And maybe in the offseason, they'll have more teams that will have more options and offer more for Giannis, which Miami is not going to be one. They might get another first-round pick in the offseason, but they'll have three. Three barely gets you a star usually, and they just don't have enough. Dude, I'm so tired of talking about what the Heat need to do and how they just continue to screw up everything over and over and over again. It's insane. It really is. It's absolutely insane. So we'll see. What else? Bad, hasty idea for the Dolphins to waste any cap money by any of that cap money by dumping Tua. They're gonna dump him, bro. They're gonna dump him. Big O, can they hope he recovers and plays well to increase his value? They're not going to do that because if he gets injured again, then there'll be money in 2027 also that you're more on the hook for. You don't want to do that. I think you want to part ways from Tua. It's the best thing that you do as an organization. And you don't have the team in front of him to succeed. So why keep him? Time for the Dolphins front office to be smart. They're blanking, wasting Marino's career. Yeah, we've been saying that for 40 years. We've had, front offices that can't get it done for 40 years. So when the first one comes, then we'll be happy. The rug pull on Silver is troubling but never surprising. Well, I mean, Jamie Dimon was fined like $29 billion for manipulating Silver. So I'm not surprised. I'm telling you, the rich are playing a game where they're using a lot of leverage to shock markets with longs and shorts. They're doing it with stocks. They've been doing that forever. They're doing it a lot with Bitcoin, and now they did it with gold and silver. They're playing with people, dude. They're playing with people. They rug pull the shit out of people. It takes off, and then they sell their part and they take the profits. And then the people that are hard workers and they think that they're trying to, oh my God, and then they get shocked and then they sell and usually bad investors buy high, sell low. And then the rich sit back and laugh and go, I got Bitcoin at 67, And, it's just kind of the way it goes. Dolphin Dave says that Big O, I see the best quarterback in the background that never had a team that sucks. Yes. He unfortunately was amazing, and they did not support him, and it was brutal. So it looks like a market correction to me. It always recovers and returns to the mean and is a normal action reaction. Exactly. But I think there's a lot of shock on purpose that's happening too by some powerful people. And they want to scare people. Some of us aren't scared. Some of us will say, there's a panic. We'll say, okay, bro, sorry, dude, but I'll take advantage of it. That's fine. And that's just kind of the way it goes. I bought Bitcoin all the way up to 51,000. And then it goes to 67 and it dropped to 15, 16, whatever. And I scarfed it down, dude. It's where I bought my most Bitcoin. Boom, 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 and and I killed it, as the kids would say. That's what you're supposed to do. So this is a great opportunity. Is it going to go down to where what? No, dude. No, we're close to the bottom. And once it bottoms, I just think that the coiling effect this time around, it's going to be vicious. And people are going to freak out. I've been telling you about this for a couple of years now. And this is where we're headed. So, Daddy Dean says, Big O, before June 1st or after cut, what is the advantages of cutting? Well, if you cut them before June 1st, you have to take the entire $100 million hit, 99, whatever. If you cut them post June 1st, you take half the hit or 2/3 of the hit this year and 1/3 next year, basically. So that's why you wait post June 1st. He's cut already. He's not part of the team, but he will not be able to get a new contract with anybody till June 1st. That's what happens. So I'm like 99.999999% sure that that's what they're going to do. They have to. They're in, and it's good for them to clean their hands of everything that just happened. They need to start fresh and start with their own people, so it falls on them. If they start to inherit everybody else's problems, then it starts to stain you. And then it also might set you back too at the same time. Who knows? The kid could figure it out, and they know how to figure out a blocking scheme, and he has a great year. Could happen, but you can't take that chance. So you're going to let him go. Listen, guys and ladies out there, they're not going anywhere for at least 2 years. It's in years 3 and 4. If they do the right things over the next 2 years, then maybe they can set themselves up to start winning in years 3 and 4. So who gives a shit? Don't worry about it. They need to get through a whole bunch of things. And they need to draft, and they need to have success over all the extra picks, too, that they have over the next 2 years. Take advantage of that. You have 2 full drafts and extra picks. Make sure you hit on them. And then we'll find out in years 3 and 4 if they know what the hell they're doing. But don't worry about, what it affects this year or that. Next year means dog shit. I told you this year was dog shit, and it was dog shit. It'll be dog shit next year, and it'll be dog shit the year after. But the idea is development is what it's all about. It's about young players. It's about what the ones you have now, can you make them better? And the ones you add this year and next year, can they become a foundation? And then going into years 3, you should feel good if they did the right things. If they didn't do the right things, then you're not going to feel good. But they're not going anywhere, so don't worry about it. The money part about it, it's not an issue because they don't have money. So it's not something that they're going to be able to do. So let them take the hits, get rid of all that dead weight, and move on. That's it. Let's see. Wow, what a correction a few months ago. No, we were at 127. We got 127, not 117. So it's even farther, the dip. We're at like 40-something%, which is awesome. Let's see. Big O, don't the Heat have a chance for a top 10 pick from Golden State, depending on their record? I'm not exactly sure, but I think you might be right. You might be right. Not exactly sure. Big O, this is where DCA investment strategy really pays off long term. Of course. Of course. Definitely, dude. Definitely. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, by the way, Dow is down 459 points. The S&P is down 57, and the NASDAQ is down just over a point right now. And Bitcoin is up to 67.79 right now. So we'll see if we're headed upwards or just a little twist up and then back down again. We shall find out. Okay. We shall find out. All right. What else do I have here? That is it. I'm done. I'm history. I'm in the archives. All right, folks. We thank, of course, the great Sean Stanley. We thank all of you out there. Please smash the hell out of the like button. Very important that you smash the like button. Make a donation. You can do it anytime, anywhere, day or night, whenever you're listening. We always appreciate it at Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. And we shall see you tomorrow morning. We're in studio tomorrow morning. Yes. Saturday, remember, 5 to 7, we'll be live in Davie at Beyond Bankcard Field for the Fort Lauderdale United versus Dallas Trinity game. We'll be there on Saturday. So come on out and join us. Bring the kids. Have some fun. Affordable sports atmosphere, which is awesome, which we all need it. Anyway, we'll see you all tomorrow morning. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin.